This video is brought to you by people who like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can also support my work by buying me a coffee. The Fellowship of Guelphissauga continues, with red tape causing more delays and complaints for the mayor. He's had to deal with the population pressures from the Lord the Liberals' open border policy and the university's over-enrolment this fall. The mayor had flexed his strong mayor powers to find places to go full-out YIMBY mode, but he was getting pushback over paving over our parks. People were writing letters to the mayor asking him what happened to our once beautiful city and its out-of-date decorations. Meanwhile, the Tiny Homes group was also facing a red tape with their attempt to remedy the Shire's housing cost crisis. Can Carly of Klassen and the Elder Elves do anything about the housing cost crisis? And will the mayor cut through all the red tape? In his spacious office downtown, the mayor was facing population pressures from the Lord of the Liberals and the Shire's university. Their open border and over-enrolment policies were expanding the Shire's housing cost crisis, with over 1,000 students on the university's residence waitlist this fall. They might have to join the minimum wage earners living in the tents downtown, since they can't afford the expensive rent for a room. The mayor didn't want them setting up camp and ruining the view from his office window, so he tried to go full-out YIMBY mode all over town to house the homeless students. Back in February, the mayor had flexed his strong mayor powers and ordered a report identifying city-owned property that could be used for housing. The Sunshine Listers returned after cashing in their paychecks with a proposal to pave over 2 public parks in the Shire. The mayor was excited about the proposal that would allow him to go full-out YIMBY mode all over the Shire's green space. He tried to convince the Elder Elves on the Council of Elders to push through this decision and had them quickly vote on it. However, their elven eyes and the people of the Shire saw through his plans to pave over our parks. In Hugh Guthrie Park, the people of the Shire protested with cardboard signs saying "Save this park" and pushed back against the mayor's park paving proposal. When a park's gone, it's gone. You give it away and it won't come back, protested Warner of Zimmerman. Please do not take action. Leave our parks alone, added Deborah of Newcombe. The Elder Elves stepped in with their stand as well. Expediency should never be the substitute for informed decision-making. We are failing at leadership and stewardship if we make a quick decision without full information, Elder Karen added. The Council of Elders voted on the proposal, and in a 10-3 vote, a motion was passed to defer decision about building on those parks. The mayor had convinced the mayor elders, Dan of Gibson and Kenya Chu, to support his plans. But the Elder Elves stood firmly against them, as they wanted to wait until all city-owned properties had been reviewed. The decision to pave over parks was delayed until the end of this year, when that review was complete. Meanwhile, in Markalongo Farms, another group of people were combating the Shire's housing cost crisis. The Guelph Tiny Homes Coalition was dealing with the red tape of their attempt to remedy the crisis by creating a structured encampment for unhoused people. They had to convince the Shire's county to approve their plans, but they were facing difficulties. The Shire's county said their project appears to not be viable in its current state, as it had several missing necessary elements. It appeared to be missing structured land, a fully costed operating and capital budget, and demonstrated financial viability, stated their report. The Shire's county didn't believe that the tiny homes group could do it with their lower setup and operating cost. Waterloo's structured encampment had cost their region $5.5 million in its first year, and the operating costs were projected to be $2.5 million annually. The Guelph Tiny Homes' proposal, their estimated operating costs were only $627,000, and the county didn't believe that was enough to cover it. The Tiny Homes Coalition regrouped as they dealt with more delayed decisions in attempts to fix the Shire's housing cost crisis. The mayor was getting complaints from all the delayed decisions and lack of action of fixing the Shire's deteriorating state. Not only were people protesting in the streets, they were also writing letters and showing up at City Hall. Joyce of Kemp, who has lived in the Shire for 64 years, wrote an open letter asking the mayor what happened to our once beautiful city. She pointed out the mayor's bad decisions with the redundant bike lanes around town and the cancelled Canada Day celebrations. Is it just me, or has Guelph become a disgrace? It used to be a beautiful city, but things have changed, she wrote. Another good Guelph citizen showed up in person to complain about the mayor's delayed action. Now that it's July and Pride Month is over, the corporation of the Shire would normally update their flags and decorations to attract seasonal tourists to town. But just like the neighbor with their rotting Halloween pumpkin on their porch, the corporation of the Shire's sunshine listers didn't bother to bring in their old holiday decorations. They're taking their sweet time and delaying their decision to update decorations to Canada Pride Month. It might have to get done by someone else, just like the Canada Day celebrations were. Can Carly of Klassen and the Elder Elves do anything about the housing cost crisis? And will the mayor cut through all the red tape? Stay tuned here to see. This video is brought to you by people who like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can also support my work by buying me a coffee.